Kia ora everyone, and welcome back to another great video chat. Joining us today, we have LawVu CEO Sam Kidd and Chief Operating Officer Sarah Webb. Now, based in Tauranga, LawVu is a real, true Kiwi success story. It's another great example of a New Zealand SaaS company that's having huge success on the world stage and seeing incredible growth. And all of that is resulting in some amazing customers coming onto the LawVu platform. LawVu recently won the Emerging SaaS Category Award at the Microsoft Partner Awards in 2021. And that was for the very clever way that they help customers simplify the fiendishly complex task of managing corporate legal affairs. Now, working across sectors as diverse as automotive, professional services, accounting, local government and primary industries, LawVu's customers span New Zealand, the UK, Australia, and the US. Now, it's great to have you on the call, Sam and Sarah.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Hi, Matt.
Let's talk a little bit about the origins of LawVu and where LawVu has come from. So much of a SaaS startup success comes down to a great idea. What was the motivation behind creating LawVu?
It was probably more simple in the early days. It was probably driven out of kind of personal experiences of dealing with lawyers, myself kind of in business, and had kind of gone through experience of selling out of a company and getting the fun tasks of dealing with lawyers and realizing this was a lot more painful than I felt it kind of should be. And at that time got introduced to my co-founder, Tim Boyne, who was on the sort of business operations side in a law firm. So working with lawyers day in, day out to kind of improve their processes. I think we kind of had a meeting of minds as the way we'd like to do things, and one thing kind of led to another. And we started looking at the market and how could we help, I suppose, improve access to legal and make it more straightforward. And that led us into the wonderful world of kind of in-house legal. And we started working quite close with sort of small legal teams in New Zealand as to the way they were operating, which was, Outlook and Word, and if they were high performing, they were utilizing Excel, and that was their technology stack. So it was super limiting, and we thought maybe this is just a strange Kiwi way of working. But as we started to look globally into the US and to Australia and UK, we realized that actually this is a problem that every team is kind of struggling with in house, that they don't really have their own system or tool. So yeah, kind of grew from there.
What challenges did you face in the early years, and what helped you overcome some of these challenges?
One of our biggest challenges was trust. So we were this small group, this small team based in New Zealand, and we were saying to in-house legal teams and some pretty big brand name, potential customers, put all your really highly sensitive corporate legal data into this cloud-based tool, and it'll be sweet. So obviously choosing a platform like Microsoft Azure really helped us through the door in those early days. We saw customers who'd never kind of been approved to use cloud services before, so that was a huge kind of boundary to get over. And obviously the only one we could kind of reference was Office 365, and try and use those same known trusted brands with our customers to put them in an environment that they felt safe with from day one.
The LawVu is based in Tauranga. What does a regional startup like a LawVu bring to the table, and how do you think differently perhaps to a startup or a scale-up SaaS business that's based in a bigger city?
We've probably taken on the community piece more ourselves, and I think probably not so much in the early days, if I'm honest. But as we started to kind of scale, we started to realize actually we've got something special here, and we're doing something different in the regions, and that made us stand up, a little bit taller and be kind of proud of what we're doing, and so have kind of actively tried to kind of engage in community events, and realizing that there's a little bit of onus on us to actually do something about it. Like we could just put our heads down and work away, but I think if we can champion those types of companies to start up in the region, of which you look at what's coming out of Tauranga now, like there's amazing tech companies there. We're one of a ton of great companies there. So I think we're starting to see this shift and this change. You're realizing that you don't have to be a big city base, especially if your client base is global. Once you've got fiber, it doesn't matter where you're based. Basically, you have your laptop and your way, and you're selling globally now. So you can be global from day one.
So let's talk about your global customer base. I know, Sam, you're beaming to us from the US right now. Great to see you're able to get out there and get in and see some of the team and some of the customers up in the US. You're really growing in the US and the UK and Australia. How has your partnership with Microsoft helped you on that growth journey?
Yeah, probably similar to what Sarah has sort of said in the early days is, if you are coming from the bottom of the world and you're a smaller sort of company and you're starting there, be able to say that you've got the partnerships with trusted systems like the Microsoft Cloud Platform. Like, we have a lot to thank 365 for, because that cloud conversation used to be super painful. Like, is it going to be cloud or is it on-prem? And actually 365 just took that away with kind of IT. So once they made that move, and so once we are basically saying that we're on the same platform, it didn't make us that strange or different when we're selling into the US or selling to the UK. We are like for like, and the fact that people are utilizing Teams a lot more, or in the sort of video conferencing calls like that was quite a unique thing that we did in the early days. Was basically we couldn't afford to do field sales, so we were having team meetings and that the whole time, and that's become the norm. We just got a jump start on that, so we sort of on doing the remote onboarding, the remote selling, and actually people sort of seen that as an advantage. So while we may sound slightly funny on calls, the process of selling, whether you're 8 Ks away or 8,000 Ks away, is like for like, and so I think that has really made the world a lot smaller when it comes to actually kind of selling globally.
Yeah, I mean the Azure stack as well, just being able to operate in all the regions where our potential customers are just off the bat. A lot of our customers have strict data sovereignty requirements, and being able to just bring up a full stack in their region, isolated, meeting all of the security requirements that they have, has been incredibly powerful and enabling for us. So yeah, it's just, there's been no questions. As Sam said, it's kind of been global since day one.
LawVu's got some really ambitious growth goals, and you're doing incredibly well all around the world. What are some of your biggest challenges in terms of achieving those growth goals?
As you say, we're growing incredibly fast, and one of the things, we're kind of in that teenage space at the moment where we've got a whole lot of well-defined systems and processes, tools that we need to optimize and scale for growth, and there's that balance of kind of cost optimization and scaling, and doing it at the right time, and at the same time balancing that with new proof of concepts to add in new features and make use of the latest technologies. And something we've been able to lean heavily on our Microsoft partnership for is having their architects and envisioning teams working with our product people, working with our technical people, working even with our marketing people to just think ahead about what that could look like, and then assisting us doing some of those proof of concepts and getting it out the door quickly to prove or disprove what we've theorized. And then that cost optimization piece, finding the right time to do it so that our customers, we're ahead of where we need to be, but we're not doing it too soon.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Sam and Sarah. Really appreciate you taking the time to share some of those awesome insights with us. And from the Microsoft team, we're really looking forward to collaborating with you further and supporting you on your growth journey. Hey, so stay tuned for some more stories, some more videos, when we're going to talk to some talented people and some great Microsoft partners that have some great growth stories to share. Keep an eye out on our social channels for more info. Thanks, everyone. Ka kite.